It was just a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to describe, when you're in it. But just to share that moment where it could have been his potential last bout, or to share the moment, him knowing that I respect him and how it ended, I couldn't hold it back. And, you can say whatever you want or call me a bitch. I was a proud bitch that moment. So I feel pretty good to have shared that moment. And that was really important because I was struggling with it. I didn't accept it. I didn't want it. And I was trying to run away from it. And that's risks, those big risks that you feel in life that could take you to the next level. And it's always going to make you feel that way. So for me to face it and, I guess, dominate with it, I'm proud of myself. And I'm not usually proud of myself because I'm always like, all right, what's next? Okay, how can I do this better? I rarely look back and say, oh, I did all that. So that moment made me realize that there's still work to be done, but it's like, hey, bro, that was good. Yeah, it's so hard to not get caught up in that because that's Anderson, and that's who I am as well. I mean, when I first started at Fortis, I was doing all that fancy stuff, and I got my ass kicked. And so that's how I am generally. But there's a balance to it, So when he was doing it, I did it enough just to remind him and myself that, hey, you can still be creative, and I came back to the basic because it was just basic, I know for a fact that we respected each other, and we were both trying to not show that as much because even at the weigh-ins, we had this awkward moment where we're looking at each other, all right, man, I don't want to show you that I like you. But we have so much respect for each other, and we had to separate that because there's nothing bad I can say about the guy. And he knew I was the guy to look up to him and follow most of his career work. So it was separating that and becoming martial artists to help each other grow. And I'm just so proud of that moment. I mean, when you think of UFC, you cannot think of Anderson Silva. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great champs out there, but for what he did and how he did it, and you can take age into consideration. I mean, one of the best things he said, he was like, hey, man, the moment you believe that shit, that's when you're old. He never believed it. And you take away all the media and all this stuff, that's what's so great about Anderson. He's passionate about it. He didn't allow his age or what everybody said or their opinions about it to dictate his outcome. He did it. He took a risk. He knew coming in there with a guy like me, young, hungry, 10 years younger, looking to capitalize on an opportunity. He knew that it was a big risk. And a lot of people aren't going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, he lost. Oh, Uriah beat him. Oh, he's old. But that's where that balance come in where you can't pay attention to someone's opinion because it starts to become your reality. I get the media side. I've struggled with it for years because I don't like people twisting my words, but it's a part of the game, and I still owe it to myself to be myself, and I can't let that emotion side of me take me away. So I have so much respect for him. I mean, I wish him nothing but the best in his family. It was sad his kids had to come in there and witness that, but it's work. Because I personally think when you dedicate your whole life to something like this, it's hard to just walk away. I mean, yeah, there's other steps where you can coach other younger generations that are coming up. And sometimes, it takes that last fight where you get really hurt, where a loved one could be like, hey, man, you should really hang it up. But it's hard. Think about something you're so passionate about. And for someone to say, you're done. I mean, you gave that your whole life. But there's other ways to do it too. There's training, for what he did and for him. For everything that I've been through this whole year, the pandemic, the staying in the gym, the going up and down with the training, it was just so important to not quit. And it's really important to remember that, especially as fighters, because, the mind game is so easy. It's like, it's not happening. And then you lose that weight, you go down. I remember when I was supposed to fight Jacare, and you can't imagine how devastated I felt when he called me into the room, and I'm like, wait, we're fighting tomorrow. What do you mean And I had to get out of that mindset and get back in. It's a cluster. But when you have a goal, man, nothing's going to stop you. He was just saying that, great job, I'm proud of you, and, you did really good, and, don't cry, don't feel bad. You're going to be champ. Yeah.